As they mentioned, my name is David Waithers. I'm the VP of Entertainment Brand Partnerships at Awesomeness TV. I was thrown into this 2 days ago, and I've only been with the company for 2 months. And please bear with me. So Awesomeness started off as a digital TV for Gen Z. We were casting and producing original content with a built-in distribution vehicle, aka influencers. This was a new model, and by casting influencers, we were able to tap into their distribution. Awesomeness is more so than ever a consumer-facing brand, no different than NBC, ABC, or the CW network. And we operate exactly like a linear television station as well. Gen Z comes to us every day like I used to go to MTV. And the content we produce runs the spectrum from movies, TV shows, scripted, unscripted, and we're posting about 40 shows a week, or over 400 hours of content every single year, which is more than most cable networks out there today. And we are not endemic to any particular type of content. We're just endemic to the actual audience, Gen Z. And so now I'm going to give you a little sneak peek as to the content that we do produce.
I think tonight's going to be quite the show. This part is going to be everything.
Do you actually think this is going to work?
And now we are down to one last night together. They can try to hold me down,
The A in Andy stands for
Anus. Andy!
awesome. You might be used to picking on your teammates, but you're not pulling that crap on me.
Looks like that competitive fire's burning just fine. This isn't just some regular club team.
You have cancer, Zach.
I'm not alone.
You killed her. What did you do?
You're watching us. Always.
And it's one thing to fight freaks, to kill people.
They're just like us. They're people out there trying to survive.
All right. And so today we are so much more. We have DreamWorks TV, which reaches kids 6 to 12. We have Awesomeness TV, which we just took you through, reaching the Gen Z and young millennial audience. But we also have Awestruck, reaching millennial moms and millennial families as well. In addition, we also have a talent network of 20,000 creators. Our network of award-winning talent can truly align with any brand and any objective you throw our way. Okay, that's enough shameless self-promotion. I am here to talk about Gen Z. So we love you millennials, but it's time to step aside for a new generation of culture creators and move on. So Gen Z was born between 1995 and 2010, which roughly makes them about 8 to 23 today. Gen Z is the first generation born into the digital world. This generation has no concept of life without high-speed internet, smartphones, or social media. And social is not a novelty for them, it's a tool. It should be of no surprise that in a Gen Z's world, expanding one's network is a lifelong endeavor, and strangers are future friends waiting to be had. And they're poised to be the most influential generation to date, but also the largest, representing 25% of the US population, making them larger than boomers, Xers, as well as millennials. And they're doers. 86% of Gen Zers are making money in some way. They have been called the monetization generation, inventing ways to make money from a young age. And they have values that are more traditional and conservative than previous generations. And while their vices consist of less sex, drugs, and alcohol, they are getting this high from their phones, which is pretty impactful. And from food. And Gen Z is experimenting with decadent food and drinks in a defiance of widespread messaging to eat healthy. Gen Z is one of the most diverse and multicultural generations to date. Not to mention the technology that enables them to be more trans-global. So why do we care so much about Gen Z? They decide what's cool. And let's take the fidget spinner, for instance. What makes this toy so appealing? I personally still do not get it. The fidget spinner is not new. It was developed in the early 90s and only started to become popular in January of 2017 when a YouTube video went viral. And now it's become a top-selling toy. And why? Because teens thought it was cool. Which leads most parents who had to buy one saying, I got suckered by my kids. So teens arguably have more purchasing power than ever before and spend a total of $44 billion a year. Not to mention they have the power to influence 93% of all household purchase decisions. And by 2020, Gen Z will represent 40% of all consumers. And so now I ask, what is your strategy to reach this impactful and influential generation? And their purchasing power can be witnessed by all the things you see here, from snacks, movies, music, streaming, computers. And to no surprise, similar to generations that came before them, Gen Z is moving away from linear TV, which brings hold to YouTube as the king for which they consume their content. 79% of teens have a YouTube account more so than any other social platform. And YouTube is most likely their social medium, which has been catering to Gen Z since the very beginning. 71% of Gen Z are all about streaming. They consume their content on multiple screens throughout the day. And the sheer volume of content this generation is consuming is incredible. Each day they are watching around 68 videos on 5 different platforms. The more content that's out there, the more that they consume. So that's it for today.